and we are live. Fanboy Modeling School.
welcome to the Fanboy Modeling School. I am the Fat Mantis, now in HD. I'm here with my partner in crime,
Steve, real name no gimmicks, also in HD. How the hell are you doing?
I'm living the dream right now. It's like 90 degrees out. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling that flow. What about you?
The summer is here, man. It's upon us. It's going to be a great, nice, beautiful, hot week.
My man, it is the summer of heat, and I'm going to go nuts. I'm going to go bananas, as they say. That's why I got a yellow shirt on. For those who are watching the live stream, you can always catch our live streams over on Rumble or our YouTube channel, Fight Juice. But, you know, normally the best place to catch us, Riz Radio, rizradio.com, Riz Radio Live 365, making music from your next breakup. We are bringing all the greatest hip-hop, R&B, pop music, pretty much anything that's cool you can eventually find musically on Riz Radio. And of course, you can always find replays of these episodes right there on Riz Radio. Check us out at rizradio.com.
Yes, indeed. What do you got planned for this summer? What's the big event? What's going on?
So let's talk about volunteerism and how I'm a bad person. For a second. So I have been, since I've joined my church, I volunteered for all these kid things, right? And so for those who don't know, Mantis has this complex because he's childless, right? And so I volunteer for all these things because, you know, these surrogate children, right? So I'm teaching Sunday school, and I've always had this camp, this church camp, right? In order to do church camp, and I've always seen it as a donation, I have to take a week off of work. And I don't know, things are more complicated and yada yada yada, and I've done it for so many years, and I feel like I've seen all the other like dads bail out, like they've worked for a couple of years and then they kind of slink into the corner and people forget they were there.
Right. Perfect dad move, by the way.
I'm trying to do that and they won't let me go. I don't even go to the meetings anymore. I'm still getting texts and they're like, so we can count on you, Mantis, right? We can count on you. And I'm like, no, I'm trying to enjoy myself. These are my kids. No matter what these women tell you, these are my kids.
I had nothing to do with that trumpet. That's strumpet.
So unfortunately, that is what dominates and controls every summer I've ever done, right? But what I usually do is, as you know, you've probably heard of the Woofer. that's a place that over the summers when there's a child, it's a summer home from family and friends. So what I do is usually do 5 days of that, right? Take work off, and then I go up to the Woofer, usually by myself. No one's there. Right. Spend the weekend alone with the wilderness, hanging out with the spider monkeys.
Now, are you still in contact with the sweet old lady that lets you borrow the dog when you go up there?
Well, the dog has passed, but yes, I am in contact with her. She's great.
Does she give you another dog?
Well, she's out of dogs because she's not just sweet; she's old.
Right.
So, I think here's what it is, and this happens to everyone. I notice it, I see it, and I don't think this is morbid for me to say. There comes a time in oldness where you realize you're not getting any more pets.
Right.
Like that last one was the last one that you can possibly care for.
Yeah, Matt, welcome in, Matt Cat.
Matt Cat, welcome in, brother. Hail to the chat, he says. What up, brother? Hail Mantis, hail Steve. And then what up, brother?
Oh, Cincy Star.
Cincy Star sighting? No, Steve, you are high right now. There's no way you have a Cincy Star sighting, because here's what it is. The word on the street is that the aliens took him, and he's on the other side of the galaxy right now. That's why no one's ever seen him.
No. It's not just the aliens, man. He was out battling Viking aliens, fighting a good fight against the
I should have known they'd be Vikings, right? The ultimate personification of the white man, the Viking. You scalp any of them, Cincy?
Yes, Matt, we are going to be talking Gina Carano and Rhonda Rousey briefly, because there's not much really to talk about in that regard, but did want to give you a shout out. Matt was over on Matt's channel the other day. We did a review on the movie Legend. Absolutely epic. Always fun to go over to Matt's channel.
We're definitely going to talk about that, Matt Cat. Yo, oh my God! For starters, you're copying me for being on Matt Cat's channel, but I'm kidding, of course. But guys, have you ever wanted an actual fun review of a movie? If you did, you should check out Matt Cat. He's in the chat right over here in YouTube's. His podcast. Him and his sister do this amazing podcast where you drink drinks and you have an actual good time reviewing a movie together. It's a great time. I've been on it. Steve's been on it. Just check it out, guys. It is a wild good time.
Yeah, when you're done having fun, come over to our channel so we can then take the things that you love, dissect them, break them down to the common denominator, and absolutely polish it.
I still got to watch MK2, says Rico. Rico, you are missing out. We're actually going to do a quick, a super quick review of MK2 tonight.
Yes.
Carl,
a lot to say about that movie. Any, hey, Rogue Radio, welcome in. Any honorable mentions, man?
Rogue Radio, what up? So I've got an honorable mention. AOC is the stupidest person that has ever lived. Now, I know people are like, wait a minute, I thought the Fanboy Modeling School was trying to tone down their political shenanigans. Probably not. That's probably not going to happen. But here's what I say. I'm not attacking her on a political level. Obviously, everything she says publicly is political by nature because she's a congresswoman. But I got to say, she had 2 really bad takes in a row, 1 week after the other.
Just 2?
Right? Well, I mean, there's the big ones people kind of focus on. Obviously, I don't listen to every word she says. But she said 1 week, this was like probably 3 weeks ago, she said democracy was invented by black people.
Oh, snap.
And she doesn't explain it. She doesn't explain it. And so here's what I'm saying. I'm willing. Absolutely. I'm an educated man and I like to be taught. And there's stuff I don't know. If there is a black culture out there that invented democracy, please come forward. I would love to learn about it. But to the best of my knowledge, I don't think black people invented democracy.
Well, now, why would you say something like that? Like that.
Steve, do you know? Here's what I'm saying. This is like a claim. So I've dated a lot of these new age women. And here's something that they always say, which can never be proven, right? So they always say, back in the day, before man took over civilization, right?
Right.
There are cultures led solely by women, and they didn't have grape or essay or war or problems. And then men took over society and they started ruining everything. The problem is, historically, such societies don't exist.
Oh, the figment of the imagination.
Right. It's the feminist figment of imagination. Like they're saying figuratively, there might have been some tribe out there that was led by women and didn't, but no one has ever seen them. Right.
Right.
And what I'm saying is this the democracy? Is this the black Democrats that we're talking about right
now? Well, okay, there's got to be some deeper context to this. What spurred
Drunk Movie Reviews is the name of Matt Cat's show.
Go check it out. Good time. What spurred this on? Like, so she was eating a sandwich and she's like, you know what?
No, she was at a talk. She was at a session. She was at an event and there's all these people talking and she said that and she gave no context or no explanation. She got claps. She got thunderous applause.
Yeah, she should. She should.
Okay.
In the grocery store, I make proclamations like that. I'm like, you see this register? My people invented this register. I'm taking it back.
And then so.
Go ahead.
Oh, wait. So I was saying you were going to give credence to this theory that blacks invented democracy.
No, I wasn't going to give any credence to it. I'm just saying, I'm a huge proponent of blackwashing history.
It is fun. It is a good ass time. I'm not going to front. It is a good ass time, but I'm just saying, like, come on, AOC. And then the following week, she does this again. She's at a speaking event. It looked like she was at a college because she wasn't giving a speech this time, but she was on a platform and there was like screen behind her and she's talking and she's like, the American Revolution, and she says this, The American Revolution was against the billionaires of its day.
Interesting.
And so, obviously she's an anti-capitalist. You know what the problem is? It was the exact opposite. The American Revolution was spawned by the rich guys of the day that didn't want to pay the king's taxes. So they convinced the idiot people, the masses, to rebel against the king, even though there weren't many solid grievances against the king. So our founders were the billionaires of their day.
Okay. Right.
But she claims it was against the billionaires of their day. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
I'm with you. Okay, I'm with you.
And so that's the honorable mention. AOC is a twit.
You know what the crazy thing about that is, man? There's certain times where someone says something so outrageous, so outlandish, where you just gotta roll with it. You know how you just humor your racist uncle, or your grandfather that makes outlandish claims. That
right.
Here's one that my dad does. My dad claims that we are related to Eric Holder, the former. Yeah, he makes this claim often.
The Eric Holder.
So he makes this claim often, and I just roll with it. I'm like, yeah, it's funny because I was in a place once where I was being held against my will for misbehavior of sorts. Read between the lines, and one of the CEOs came up to me and he was like, "Oh, last name's Holder, huh? Any relation to Eric Holder?" And I'm like, if this gets me out, should I say yes? Or is this going to turn into one of those situations where it turns out we're not related? Right? 6 degrees of separation.
And they're going to do the genealogy report. They're going to actually ring it up, and they're going to be like, I took the trouble of scanning your DNA. Turns out you're not a Holder. I get it too. I think his name is Lance Mears, is a race car driver.
Oh, yeah.
And I get that all the time. People are like, yo, you related to Lance? And at first, originally I was like, huh? And finally, when I looked him up, I was like, okay, guy seems all right. People say that, and I'm so tempted to say yes.
Just to see what it gets you. Is it going to get me a free coffee? Is this drink?
Right. I'll be like, yeah, he's my cousin, man. I went to his wedding.
I have an honorable mention. So the family and I just got back from Florida, all expense week-long trip from the job, paid for the whole thing. So
that's nice. That is very nice.
Yeah, we did Magic Kingdom, and then we were going to do the animal thing, but then we switched it up. And actually, I just got to shout out the corporation for this. I'm not going to shout them out by name, but they really made everything effortless, man. Like, I got to the airport with my family. Our tickets were ready to go. We flew. We landed. We were in a beautiful resort. The name of it was the Gaylord.
Okay, for starters, pause. Pause. But wait. You had an easy time going to the airport, flying to a place, and vacationing.
The whole.
Are you sure you're black?
I am black. Carmencita over in Rumble. What's up, my sister? What
up, Carmencita?
Shout out the Rumble crew. Carmencita, will you mind
Rumble kids
in the chat for anyone that catches the replay, and so I can read it out loud what nights you stream so they can check you out. So we went to Magic Kingdom and we went to Hollywood Studios, and we did the Star Wars area, which is always just absolutely amazing. My middle son got to meet the Mandalorian, hugged him, had a great time. Then we did the rides. I just got to say, man, the 3D on these rides is absolutely amazing. So we did I forget the name of the ride, but it's basically when they recruit you as a rebel and you go through the whole thing.
Right. What is it called? Damn, it's gonna kill me because I know the area of the park is Galaxy's Edge, but what is the ride? The ride is Rise of the Resistance. Rise of the Resistance.
It was absolutely awesome. I sent you a picture from inside. Don't know if I
saw that with it. Yeah.
Don't know if I was allowed to take pictures. Whole thing was dope. Took my younger son on when we were at Magic Kingdom. I'm sorry, Hollywood Studios. Was it Magic Kingdom? I can't remember. But we did the Tron ride, right? And I looked at my youngest son and I'm like, hey, you okay? And he's like, yeah, no, I got this. Bro, when that bike took off and we flew out of the inside portion of it, all around the outside, I looked over at him and he's just screaming at the top of his lungs, crying. And I looked him in his eyes and I'm like, this is manhood. Can you deal with it? Remember your training and you will survive.
Yo, the thing is, even a place like Disney, it is by like God's eternal glory and love for us that there aren't more fatalities. You know how many times people are like, my thing didn't fasten and the roller coaster started and they're like hanging on for dear life. I've heard stories of people dangling from coasters before. Like your poor kid is probably, you're like grabbing by the hand and you're like,
Remember about the time we went to Great Where Matt says, did the Mandalorian take off his helmet and it ended up being Pedro Pascal? You know, it's funny, man. I broke all the rules of etiquette, Matt, when we were meeting the Mandalorian. There's the handler that's like, do not walk up to the Mandalorian. He will call you and he's ready to take a picture. And I'm like, screw that. I pushed my kid right in front.
Why do they have to make it so unfun for people?
You know what's
when
crazy?
They're like, you're like, oh, the kids are like, wow, the magic of the Mandalorian. And there's some jerk is just like, we're gonna go by the rules, kid. Get in the back of the line. You foul. You're not seeing them now. I'm like, yo, come on, man.
Bro, it's absolute. But you know, it was a great trip, man. Had a lot of fun doing that. Did all the Toy Story rides. Actually, we pretty much killed the whole thing in 6 hours both days. So it was a great time. Landed back in New York on Friday, absolutely exhausted.
Okay. You know, Princess Bax says effing fanboys. I've never seen her with such attitude. I can't wait to hear what this is about.
So great time. And I just have to say, man, you know, I did feel some of the magic of being at the kingdom. It was, you know, seeing it through a child's eyes. I was like, this is a good time.
So here's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So I've gone to Disney twice, and the one time that I went with my sister and her kid was 50 times better than when I went with my friends.
Yeah,
because I was with her kid, and he was like, it was blown away with the magic, and you know, I didn't even care what ride I was. I would be like, Mateo, what ride do you want to go on?
Exactly.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And like just seeing him enjoy himself was a good time. You know.
Have you ever seen the YouTube doc on the adult Disney goers and the people who just spend thousands of dollars a year just going to Disney like every week?
Yes, I understand about the phenomenon, which is a mental illness, by the way, for adults who are obsessed with Disney, and they're like, they make YouTube channels about them, and they're like, I'm obsessed with the Disney park, blah blah blah, and you'll be like, do you have any kids? And they're like. And then they run off into the darkness, right? But you know, I gotta tell you a little funny memory with my nephew, and so we were doing obviously nephew things all day long, which is fine. That's totally cool. And finally, we're walking by the area where the Disney princesses like meet and greet, right? And I saw them, and I was like, yo, Cinderella was at the time in my life the most beautiful woman I have ever laid eyes on. Oh, and I said, I have to meet her.
Okay.
And so I took my nephew and I got in the line. And we're waiting. After a while, my nephew goes, Uncle Mantis, what are we waiting for? And I said, oh, we're going to meet Cinderella. Because I don't want to do that. And I said, no, it's all right. It's like, no, I don't want to do that. I was like, just please do this for me. Please do this for your uncle. And he's like, no. And I was like, why don't you want to do it? And he goes, because I'm not a girl. I said, you're not a girl if you're just meeting her. Come on, man, just be cool. Also, I basically browbeat my little nephew into doing this because I want to try to holler at this girl, right? And so we get up there, and she's in character. Like this girl's in character, and I tell her, she's like, oh, so where are you from? And I was like, oh, we just came from New York. And she's like, I've never heard of that kingdom. Did you bring your chariot here? And I said, we flew. And she's like, flew? And she's like, do you have access to a magic carpet? And she stayed in character. And I started like trying to ask her questions, like, you know, you chat her up, you're like, blah, blah, blah. And she just stayed in fucking character the whole time. She probably gets hit on like 50 times a day by dads, right? Yeah. So it was all for naught. Right?
You know what's great about that though, man? And it's also Beck says that poor boy. Matt says all of a sudden the Mando handler turned into the grubby elf from Christmas Story. Exactly.
He said, I'm not a girl. Because only girls would meet princesses.
And, you know, here's the crazy thing about me as a parent. So the son that met the Mandalorian, yo, Berlin in the chat with the dub.
What up, bro?
over in Rumble. Shout out DT Dub. DT Dub, let them know when you're streaming so we can shout you out on the replay. My son's autistic, right? High functioning, autistic. But I'm the type of parent where, okay, so let me just lay it out for you, right? We got him a stroller. The kid doesn't like to walk if he doesn't have to. He is not a New Yorker like you.
Well, I don't like to. If I get up a giant, put me in a stroller, and roll me around. That's my preferred mode of travel.
So we're pushing them around. Tell me how I'm that dad looking at everyone, making sure if they say, like, they make one weird look at my kid, they make any funky eye contact, I was ready to go. Like, literally ready to go, bro. I was ready to be that dad that was clipped on the internet fighting in the park. But here's what I noticed, man. We got the fast pass, and I felt like a superior human being, man. Like, I literally was walking past the line, just like, look at these trifling troglodytes standing here in the sun. Come, son, let's go forward. That's another thing. We did the Tower of Terror. Absolutely amazing.
Amazing. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, I love. Well, you know, I'm a big, huge Twilight Zone fan, but it's not just that. The Tower of Terror is wonderful, and I don't want to spoil anyone because it's a horror ride. Yeah. But when it gets you, it gets the AF out of you.
Oh yeah, and I think they've toned down the ride. My wife said, because before it was like a straight velocity shot, but now it's like more of a stutter. But even that was too much for my young son. He's like, "What is happening?" He was so pissed.
When it happened, I was so startled. I grabbed my nephew. I went, "Ah!" And my nephew didn't even flinch. And I was, he looked at me. I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm good for."
Like, you do need Cinderella. Oh, that's what I was talking about, man. So the Disney princesses, man. Have you ever noticed that when one of those women ever reaches a monicum of fame on social media, they get clipped? Like, you had the woman, the evil queen from Snow White. There was a young lady that was doing absolutely amazing playing this character, like evil faces, all the aura. Disney clipped her ass quick, fast, in a hurry, bro. Like, yeah, they fired her. There was another, like, I think, Little Mermaid. Bex, what's up with that? What's up with Disney firing the princesses? Can anyone explain that to me? Are they just
Bex is so brilliant. I don't know why I didn't think about it, but then again, I didn't know like that was a thing before. But she said you're supposed to chatter up in character, be a prince. Next time I'm going to cosplay as a prince. Although at this point, that, like, the last time I went was like 15 years ago. So
yeah, you're gonna get escorted right out of there.
Right. At this point, I'm just like someone's perverted old dad trying to hit on a college girl. Tower is great. And so, I'm gonna do an honorable mention straight out from Matt Cat's mouth, though. Have you seen the new trailer for Lanterns?
I have not seen the new trailer for Lanterns. Is it good?
It is better than the original one. Do you remember the whole controversy with the original one?
Yes, I do. I do remember the whole controversy.
Steve? Okay, so see, Steve might be having some technical problems. Look at him. If anyone can see it, is anyone seeing what I'm seeing? He is frozen with a shit-eating grin on his face, which that's what we like to think of Steve, right? Great dude, great smile. But I'm not hearing you, brother. So when you get an opportunity to come back to us, please do so. Or maybe I'm the one. Chat, please let me know. Is it Steve or is it Mantis who's, not being able to communicate? The last Lanterns trailer was pretty it was hard to love. It's like it's like your child who grows up to be a serial killer. Like, how can you love that, right? It's saying I have internet connection, so I don't know what's going on. And so once again, shout out to the chat. If I am cut off, please let me know. Okay, we have now officially lost Steve. We still love him. I think he's coming back in. Once again, a part that we need to cut out. Anyway, he's reconnecting when he gets the opportunity. It's Steve. Yes, I love it when it's Steve and it's not Mantis. So Lanterns. I definitely liked this trailer way better. I may have some nitpicks or whatever. I just in general, you know what one of my issues is It's not just that they didn't have special effects in the last one. They had no special effects in the last one. You would have thought it was like an episode of the Dukes of Hazzard or something, the original trailer, where it's just dudes walking around not using powers, right? It's so annoying. So they have a lot more powers. They have energy force fields. They have, of course, what's his face flying, Hal Jordan. One of the problems I have with Hal Jordan is he looks like he's an alcoholic dad who just came off of falling off the wagon. Like his jacket doesn't fit him, and he's kind of like messed up, and he's got this 5 o'clock shadow, and he's just all. And I'm just like, when has Hal Jordan ever been this kind of a messy, just tornado hurricane man of a person? This is not the Hal Jordan that we know, right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. So Matt Cat says, I was excited for Lanterns before the first teaser, and that was trash. This new one, I'm still not excited, and I think the show will just be mid. So here's what I'm hoping for. Here's what I'm saying. I have a feeling, I have a sneaking suspicion that everything we've seen so far, including in the new trailer, are from episode 1 and 2. I believe that after episode 1 and 2, they are going to get back to the space cosmic craziness. For those who don't know, Green Lantern is one of the most cosmic comic books ever written. Like, it's about space cops who hurtle through space, solving crimes and fixing things on various planets. So if they're not solving a crime on Earth, then they're going to some other place to protect, to save a dam, to protect the forest, to whatever, stop genocide. The Green Lanterns are very cosmic. They're constantly helping different alien races and all these things. It doesn't even make sense if the entire series or entire season is in a small country town with cowboys, which is what they've shown us so far. And my theory is that's episode 1, maybe episode 1 and 2. I could be wrong. And they're just not ready to show us scenes from other episodes. They put all the constructs at the beginning, and there was nothing. I feel. I mean, trailers are hard. Plus, 2 guys can be lanterns. Yes, so they have a thing. Even on the poster, they say only one can wear the ring. That is definitively not true in the lore of Green Lantern. But not only that, we know that there's Hal Jordan, but there's also Guy Gardner. So already at least 2 people will wear the ring. So it is not true that only one can wear the ring. So I don't know where they're going with it. I am curious. I'll definitely check it out. It could be a disaster. You never know nowadays with this stuff. Exactly, man. It feels like they are bringing down Hal Jordan to bring John Stewart up. Yes, absolutely. To be honest, have you heard the parallax theory? The theory is it's not just that this basically their image of Hal Jordan right now is not only that he's older, that he's washed up, he's at the end of his career. And the theory is that he is going to be a traitor or evil in this season. And while they're trying to solve the mystery, the twist is going to be that Hal Jordan betrayed the Corps. So, and here's what, this is not without comic book precedents. So in the 90s, there was a crossover event called 0 Hour. And somebody was erasing reality. Like creation was being undone, right? Like basically when an area of space would be wiped out, it would just be a blank page, like a comic book erasing things, right? Welcome back to my man, Steve.
Sorry about that, man.
And so back in the 90s, there was this 0 Hour event. And then finally at the end of the event, they discover it's Hal Jordan. It's a washed up Hal Jordan who's secretly evil. And of course, Hal Jordan fans lost their minds. They were like, this is not appropriate. They flipped out. And of course, they had to, DC had to retcon it. But a lot of people think they're doing a similar story in this Lanterns.
So I missed all of that, but I would love to see the trailer. Do you want to pull it up?
I got no audio from you, brother.
Yeah. Yo.
Say something.
Yo, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I got nothing right now.
Yeah.
Guys, you gotta love the live stream game. If something is not going wrong, it's not a good live stream. If everything goes together, it just sucks. Get nothing from you, brother. I'm sorry. I wonder what it is. Is there something I can change about this?
Yo. Nope.
Yeah, so maybe he's gonna be parallax, which I think will piss off Hal Jordan fans even worse.
Yo.
Like Hal Jordan fans will be like, not only are you making him a loser so that Jon Stewart's cool, you're making him literally a villain so Jon Stewart can stop him. That is like next level of that, what you're talking about. And once again, I thought we evolved past this sort of thing. Because unfortunately, and this is the problem with having, if you have any race or gender, you're already a political creature, which sucks, right? So Jon Stewart is black, right? And so now it's a black versus white thing if they do that.
Can you hear me now? Everybody, they can hear me. They can hear me. The chat can hear me. It's you.
Wait, you can hear Steve?
It's you.
Okay, Steve, speak to them. Ask them who can hear you, and in the chat, please identify that.
Yo, Matt, can you just please Bex anyone let poor Mantis know that you guys can hear me, and it in fact is not my.
He can hear him. What's going on here?
Oh man, as Mantis said, gotta love the live stream game, man. I absolutely love this Chinese app that we're using. So while Mantis is trying to figure out his audio, I'm going to keep talking. I have not, as of yet, seen the new Green Lantern trailer, man. And to be honest with you, I think I'm going to go the same way as Matt on this thing, man. Friggin', I was a little disappointed by the first trailer. I was a little worried. Absolutely love this Chinese app that we're using. So while Mantis is trying to figure out his audio, I'm going to keep talking. I have not, as of yet, seen the new Green Lantern trailer, man. And to be honest with you,
but you can also hear me.
Yeah, I can hear Matt on this thing, man.
Can you hear both of us?
I was a little disappointed by the first trailer. I was a little worried. Love this Chinese app that we're using. So while Mantis is trying to figure out his audio, I'm going to keep talking.
So Steve, I guess we're not allowed to talk to each other or something. I really don't know how to solve this. Why can I not hear you?
I don't know. I wish I could answer that question. Yo, Mantis. You can hear me now?
Wait.
Yes, the Windows sound. The drivers need to be
I just restarted stuff and it worked out. There we are, guys. Yo, the Riz Radio and the Fanboy Modeling School back in the game. We can hear each other again.
Man, Bex
no longer am I cooking my ramen with a lighter.
Bex said this is embarrassing. No, Bex, it's only embarrassing if you allow it to get to you. That's the only thing. Right. We've been doing this for so long that I'm just used to the audio shit after a while, man. Can we watch the new trailer if I pull it up? Do we dare add something else to the stream?
No, let's do it.
All right, give me a sec, man.
And we're doing trailer 2, not 1, right?
Yes.
Because trailer 1 was
garbage.
Garbagio. Yo, there was only one special effect. You see Hal Jordan fly, and that was at the end of the trailer. Everything else, it was just 2 dudes walking around an old country town. Here's what I'm saying. It was so disgraceful. DC took it down offline.
Really?
They actually took it down because it was getting such bad press.
You know what's crazy? Hold on, don't share that one. I forgot to do the thing. You know what's crazy about that, man? Everyone kept saying it was going to have true detective vibes, and I was like, I don't know if this is a good thing. I don't know if I want those two things mixed.
Way to not understand the project. And here's what it is. I thought that in this day and age, understanding the project of comic books was the most important thing, right? You got to get the vibe right. You got to get the right comic book. I understand they're crime solvers, but a True Detective vibe is not what this should be about.
No, not at all.
Maybe a Batman movie, maybe a Green Arrow movie, some shit like that, or The Question or something, but not the Green Lanterns.
Hell, some people said that True Detective shouldn't have been True Detective, man. I only watched
except the first season. The first season was amazing, and every other season just kind of like
absolutely amazing. All right, you can go ahead and share that now. Hopefully, we get this on the first try, so we don't have to listen to Bex give us a hard time. Here, Bex, low below incoming. Bex will shame us for having audio issues, but will not hit the go live button or record button on her own goddamn show.
She'll do an entire show and be like, "Oh, did I forget to record?" Only thing that I heard her was her Cabbage Patch doll. No, I'm sorry, her Bridgerton doll.
You hear that?
No.
You can't hear the audio?
Wait, play. No, I'm hearing nothing.
All right, I'm not going through this shit tonight. I'm not doing this with you, bro. If you want to share it, go for it.
You know what?
Matt says success. Yes, Matt, it is success. Matt says also, if the parallax thing, James Gunn has this thing about making DC all about aliens taking over the bodies of humans. What's that all about? Well, I think it's obvious. James Gunn is a pervert.
He is. He absolutely is. I mean, we've seen him. We've seen the picture of him at the pedo party, right?
No.
So him and his friends, this is before he was the director of Guardians, decided they're Hollywood elites. They decide to have a pedo party, and they're all dressed up as someone who might look like a pedophile. And guess how he dressed? Like a priest.
Are you serious?
And so he's a priest. His friend, and by the way, the friend I'm referring to right now actually did eventually get arrested for pedophilia.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
he's in jail right now.
I thought you were going to say Kevin Feige.
No. But his friend in the picture that he's posing with is pretending to dress like a teacher, like a hip teacher. But anyway, they had a pedo party, right? And they're like, it's so funny to dress and make jokes about pedophilia. And what do you know? The guy who threw the party, his buddy who's in the picture, right, ends up a couple of years later getting arrested and going to jail for grooming a girl.
Well, this took a dark turn.
Yeah. Thank you, DC. If they didn't have that pervert in charge, we wouldn't have, If we had a straight shooter like Trump in charge of the DCEU, we wouldn't have to talk about this dark stuff.
Straight shooter, he said.
Oh, the madness. So here's what I'm saying. Let's get to our actual stories. What do you want to start with, brother?
Let's start with Mortal Kombat 2.
Mortal Kombat 2. So you just saw it.
I just saw it, man. Went to go see it Saturday. Was absolutely amazed with how much I enjoyed this movie, man. Like, I could not believe that it was this good. It has no right being this good. And so let's go through the history of video game movies for just a second. They've all sucked.
There you go. History done. So
Berlin says no spoilers. All right, spoiler-free review.
We'll do spoiler-free review. The history of video games. So actually, what is the first video game movie?
First video game movie that I can recall was Mario Brothers. I remember us all being extra.
There has to be one before that. There wasn't like.
There might be, but I don't remember it, my brother. So we're going to start with Mario. Oh, wait. Double Dragon? No, Double Dragon came out after Mario Brothers.
Did it come out after?
Double Dragon had Mark Dacascos in it, man. That was a horrible movie. But they've been bad, man. Street Fighter was horrible. Mortal Kombat was horrible. Resident Evil, I don't care how much nostalgia you have in your body. They were all horrible.
So wait, hold on. Here's what I'm saying. Resident Evil movies are decent if you forget the fact that they have anything to do with the Resident Evil games, because they didn't have anything to do with the Resident Evil games. The only connector was there's an occasional zombie in it.
So you know what you just did there? You did the battered boyfriend thing. She's cool as long as she doesn't have her second drink. She's
as long as I don't make her angry.
Yeah,
as long as I don't make her angry.
As long as I don't do the things that trigger her, it's gonna be a great time.
You know who else did that to us?
Who is that?
Wonder Man. Wonder Man did that to us.
Did not watch it.
Okay, good for you. Good for you.
But let's go, man. So Street Fighter sucked. Mario Brothers sucked. First decent video game movie I recall was Silent Hill, the first one. I remember watching that movie in rehab. That's right. Your boy did a stint in rehab. And we're all sitting in the common area watching it. And I was like, this is a really good movie. And remember, I was surrounded by perverts, criminals, and skinheads at the time.
Right. Now, although I love that you're reminiscing about the skinheads and stuff, the thing I want to point out is that, remember, there was a good, bad video game movie. And what am I talking about? The original Mortal Kombat. I remember loving that movie, even though I knew it was stupid. It was stupid, but it was fun.
Well, because the fight scenes were ahead of their time for that movie. Those were like really, really decent fight scenes. Shout out to my man Hakeem the Machine Austin, aka Zeus's stepdad. But I love that movie. But Silent Hill was the first one that I was really like, this is a really good movie. And then I have to say the second best video game movie I've ever seen have been the Sonic movies. Because those movies understood the assignment. When they released that first image of Sonic and the public outcry came out against it and they changed it, I was like,
the fact that they changed it means they care.
Yeah, they care. They absolutely care. And then obviously we have the new animated Mario Brothers movies. And the first Mortal Kombat movie we famously streamed on Fight Juice Online. It was one of our inaugural episodes. We watched it. It was horrible. It was a horrible night. It was absolutely a bad time.
We watched it before Courtney vanished.
I actually spoke to Courtney the other day, man.
Really? What did he say?
He's hanging in there. He said, shout out to Shaolin Iceboxer, man. Always one.
Much love to him. Much love to him.
Matt says, I disagree, Steve. All those video games movies in the 90s were so good. No, they weren't. Not one of them was good, except for Mortal Kombat. But so walking into this movie, I had really low expectations other than you giving it a big hype before I went to go see it. I got to say, they understood the assignment. They understood how to use Johnny Cage exactly correct. And I was really impressed with the fight choreography. It was actually really, really good, man. And also, shout out to the guy who played Shao Kahn, because he did a really good job in this movie, man. And they knew how to do Shao Kahn. We didn't need large monologues from this imposing villain. We needed him to be imposing. And that first scene with him sets the tone. Villain you're dealing with.
So one of the most impressive things, and it isn't the only reason I like it, but it certainly adds to it, is that they did a good job with the female characters. And I honestly think that Marvel should take notes on how to do female characters, right? They didn't make any of them Mary Sue's. They were taking their blows just like the guys were, right? They were putting in their things. At least one of them is a main character, definitely has that main character energy. It's just well done.
It absolutely was well done. And I want to talk about that for a second. So Katana was dope. Jade was dope. I was really worried about Jade, but their dynamic was really interesting.
It actually made Jade interesting. Jade is not normally an interesting character ever.
At all. They actually did a really good job downplaying Noob Sabat, because in my mind, I didn't want to have to deal with that character being, this is Sub-Zero's resurrected body. I didn't want to have to deal with him being a focal point in the story. I wanted to see where we were going. And they actually got into the tournament.
And actually, what's funny, when I talk to normies about the movie, that's one of the things they ask. They're like, I don't understand. He turned into two guys? Like, what is going on there? I'm like, yes, it's very video game. It's very video game.
We talked about this the other night. We're in disagreement about one factor, but Mortal Kombat, I sat down one day. I told DT Dub this. DT Dub says Annihilation was horrible, but I still enjoy the Shao Kahn in that one. So I watched a 4-hour video one day on my days off before Mortal Kombat 1, the game came out, just to get caught up on the lore. And I was like, man, they really have taken this story in interesting places.
Crazy place.
I see that in the representation of this movie. In actuality, no one's complaining about Liu Kang. I think he was represented way better in this movie. Him and
to be honest, I'm actually going to say the Kung Lao versus Liu Kang fight. Sorry, that might be a minor spoiler. Was the best fight in the entire movie.
Listen, Berlin, I'm going to tell you straight up and down. First of all, that name is the mixture of two names from like people that made the game. So I'm under no obligation to pronounce it right. He's Noob Sibbit for right?
Noob Saibot. Noob Saibot.
But no, man, it was a good time, man. I honestly have to say this, man. There were points in the movie where I was like, man, this is gonna go cheesy, but then I realized it's supposed to be cheesy. Like you said before I went to go see it, you're like, it's definitely a love letter to people who enjoy the game. They definitely recovered very well.
Yeah, I mean, there were some really cheesy jokes in it, but still, it's a good time. It's fun, and what it is that it's a good time to just turn it off. And like, some people take these things too seriously, and it's just like, I'm just like, for instance, I would actually say, and this is not even a spoiler, but I would say when Baraka is out,
yeah,
it's a little silly, but it's fun. I'm having a good time.
Well, he's a silly character through and through.
Right.
His fight scene with Johnny Cage is worth it, man. And Johnny Cage was actually worth it, man. It's a little hard to go for it.
Yeah, have you noticed this? And I'm sure you noticed this, and you probably just were having a good time. You didn't care. They did not, or I don't know if they didn't give him a stump double or whatever, but Johnny Cage's martial arts was not good. And maybe they figured because, they're going from a different angle. Remember, this is Johnny Cage who's washed up.
Right.
Coming back into it. But I don't think he ever had a good fight scene. If you know what I mean? If like a traditionally good fight scene.
Well, yeah, because he's coming in as the underpowered version of himself, right? And I did enjoy the fight scene. Little spoiler here, there's that great scene where he starts doing the wushu hand whirl, and I was just like dying laughing in the movie. Like,
yes,
absolutely amazing.
Because that's Johnny Cage. He's cheesy martial arts. He's strip mall martial arts, so he has to represent all the worst parts of martial arts, including gimmicky shit like that.
He's the pinnacle of the McDojo. Hard to talk about this movie without any spoilers, but I will say this: if you're a Mortal Kombat fan, you enjoy the game, go check this out. Preferably a $10 matinee, $8 if you can swing it, because that's the perfect price for this movie, man.
I saw it opening day, full price. I no regrets.
Now this makes me pivot to another fighting game movie that's coming out. My expectations are so low for Street Fighter.
You told me, and I think, no offense, I love you, but you're a damn fool for not appreciating the Street Fighter. So tell me, what do you think sucks about it?
Well, here's the thing, man. You and I are in complete disagreement about this, because now I know, after years of playing Street Fighter with you, you never paid attention to the storyline, of which there is a deep storyline. Man, this is like, there's a guy. If I asked you to give a breakdown of the storyline, I'm pretty sure it would go, there's a guy, he could be Japanese, he's a brunette white guy, he lives in Japan, he's got a white friend, and then,
what I'm saying is, Ryu is fighting so that he can endlessly do shoryukens into a waterfall. That's pretty much all.
You're so lucky that we're not friggin' able to do audio right now. I would make y'all sit through the lore video for Street Fighter.
Oh God, the faux lore of Street Fighter.
You have no idea. It's absolutely amazing. But the abortion that they're about to put in the movie theater right now is just, you
don't want to see 50 Cent's Balrog.
I was actually hyped for that and that alone. But then when I saw the trailer, I was just like, oh goodness, bro.
No, I think it's gonna be awesome. I think it's gonna be totally awesome.
You're wrong, but you're allowed to be wrong. You're absolutely allowed to be wrong. But no, definitely go check out Mortal Kombat, man.
Definitely. We may not agree on Street Fighter, but we agree on more the new Mortal Kombat 2 in theaters now. It could use your money right now, actually.
Not making any noise at the box office, unfortunately. Sad actually. I want to pivot to something really quickly. Should have put it in the trailer notes. I want to talk about The Boys' final season.
Oh, I have opinions, brother. I have opinions.
Well, let's start with your opinions, because a lot of people seem to be reconnected with the series, enjoying it, having a good time with it.
So I'm going to say false on that. And so here's what it is. And I'm with these people. The beginning of the season was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. And then they made the series, the final season, last chance to have character development and to have characters that you interchange with and all this stuff. And they made it all about Soldier Boy and Homelander, and our normal characters such as Butcher, Starlight, and Huey get no character development whatsoever.
Thank God.
And the few times that it does, it's lame and it falls flat.
And honestly, thank God to that, because if you want to know how this shit wraps in the comic books,
I know. I read the whole thing.
like it really just,
and actually, I would prefer that ending to what we're getting right now, because right now it's pretty ridiculous where they're at.
Why? What do you think is ridiculous about it? Other than
okay. So it's pretty obvious that they are going to successfully give Kimiko the radiation powers. However, the idea is that Soldier Boy got radiation powers from the Russians doing all sorts of weird experiments on him. The boys, however, they don't know experiments. And so their thing is they're like, we'll just bombard her with radiation night and day, and eventually she'll get powers. Right. That doesn't make any scientific sense.
Yeah, you know what doesn't make any scientific sense? Taking V and having a face grow out the back of your head that can read.
I think that makes a lot of sense, actually. I think it makes total sense. So there's just a bunch of weird nonsense going on here, and so I don't really love it. And honestly, for instance, Kimiko and Frenchie, I prefer their comic book ending to what they're giving us right here on the screen.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's because, in case you don't know, spoiler for a comic that's been out for over 10 years, Butcher, after finally killing Homelander and us finding out that Black Noir is Homelander's clone, the one that ate the baby, I'll never let that go. Right. Butcher turns on the boys and then kills Mother's Milk, kills Frenchie and Kimiko, and almost kills Huey, but I think Huey takes him out in the end.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's
and at the end, sole survivors are Huey and Starlighter, who go to France to have their romance or whatever. So obviously they're going in different directions. But so another character I really can't stand, Sister Sage, and I'll tell you why.
Why is that?
She's supposed to be the world's smartest person, but she never does anything for anyone ever.
Yeah,
have you noticed that?
You know, it's funny. I was watching a video commentary on how hard it is to write these overly intelligent characters who are supposed to represent the pinnacle of intelligence, because it's like no matter what you do, they're going to do something stupid, and it's just not going to jive well with their characters. That's why they're the worst type of MacGuffins. And
she's done several stupid things already, and I'm like, you should have been able to predict that. You're super smart. What is going on?
In theory, it sounds good when you're playing D&D with your homeboys. You're like, hey man, I want 12 clairvoyance, 12 charisma, and then you realize this is all based on probability. But I'll say this, man. I'm going to say this, man. I'm happy this show is coming to an end. I think one of the big gripes I've heard about this season is that they're using it to really promote the spinoff for the original.
Right. That's what Soldier Boy was, really. They're like, as long as we have him, let's just play up that he's going to get a spinoff.
Yes. And it's just not that type of universe where I care about what Soldier Boy did.
So I am excited to see the spinoff. I watch all the spinoffs basically, so like, I'm for it. But I honestly don't think they should have turned the final season into an advertisement for it. That annoyed me. That really annoyed me.
You know what's funny about this whole thing, man? It's just, for me personally, I can't wait for this show to wrap so we can all just move on. So we can absolutely move on, because they finally did what's the name of the show with
yes, I agree, Matt Cat. I did think that something was gonna happen. I really did, actually, especially this season. At the beginning of this season, Black Noir stopped talking, but normally he talks. He's not supposed to talk, but we know the actor playing him does talk. And then in the beginning, they were like, he's not talking. And I said, did they replace him again? Did they replace him with a clone? What's happening? At the end of the day, that went nowhere. That story went nowhere. Oh, another thing. This pisses me off. I love Black Noir as a character. He dies by knife.
Yeah, stabbed in the throat by the deep.
Starlighter, little girl, can tank friggin' shotgun shells to her chest. But Black Noir, a super ninja fighting all the time, cannot take a knife.
R.I.P. Black Noir. One of my favorite episodes.
I was so angry at that scene. I was so friggin' angry.
One of my favorite episodes in that show, man, is when Black Noir is hunting the boys. This is early in the show, and they fucking see him, excuse my language. They freaking see him on top of that roof.
On the roof, because it's daytime. It's daytime, and he's a ninja all in black on the roof.
And he's just scaling across the roof. I love that, man. I absolutely love that, man. Shout out to the boys, man.
Personally, I don't think they should have gotten rid of the first Black Noir.
No.
And I have to say, one of the things that I loved about him, do you remember at the end of season 1 when, they send him into the Middle East? I don't know which country it is. Because the Middle Easterners, the Muslims create a superpowered dude. And the dude has some sort of super fire powers. And when he sees Black Noir, the guy explodes and he destroys his base. He destroys his own soldiers. And after the fire clears, it pans over. And you see Black Noir standing there, and his costume is all fried up, but he's completely fine and still silent. And he's about to kill this motherfucker. It was like, yes.
His death was too tragic for me. When he died and all the little characters came up,
the cartoon characters, the puppets or whatever.
Oh man, that really messed me up, man.
And that's what it is. A lot of people are saying, and I don't agree you should end a show. I don't like short shows, right? And a lot of people are saying it died in season 3. Like after season 3 wasn't the same,
right?
And I do get it, and that happens all the time with shows. It's called what is it? Jumping the Shark.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, that's a reference to Happy Days. You know this?
No, I didn't know that.
So in Happy Days was a great sitcom. Everyone was loving it. And finally they do an episode where they did a 2-parter where they go to Hawaii.
Right.
And then the Fonz is like, he gets on a water ski, and there's a shark in the water, and he decides to jump over it.
And gets killed.
And no, he lives. He does this impossible stunt that a human couldn't do. And after that, every episode he was doing impossible stuff, and people were like, this is not the show I used to love. This is stupid. The show used to be just a comedy about teenagers. Now this dude's flipping over sharks. And that's where Jumping the Shark comes up.
Bro, you know what's crazy, man? I'm just gonna say this, man, because I'm getting ready to stream friggin' Castlevania, right? And I'm really just trying to get myself into like the whole mindset around like really just getting back into streaming and everything we're doing over at rizradio.com and all these things. And it makes me think about this, right? This content that we love, this nerddom we love, it's so fragile when it's brought to actual life. Right? When these mediums become visual shows, visual movies, because there's really no way to please everyone, right? But there is a way to be consistent and give it all your all. And I think, just like Matt said, it's one thing for a show to be political. It's another thing for it to be pushing a political agenda on either side of the aisle.
Yeah. Everything's so political. I do agree. Matt Cat is right. Like they're trying to make it a Donald Trump thing. Because, like, for instance, in the comic, he tries to become the emperor of America, but he doesn't do it through religion.
No.
And they're trying to make some sort of statement about Donald Trump in that.
And it's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy because you could have just had a show that really highlighted the debauchery of, I missed Queen Maeve as well. You really could have just made a show that was about the debauchery of people having absolute power. And that would have been a political statement enough, right? But AI viewers, streamboo.com. Everyone go check it out.
I miss Maeve too. I agree with you. The original Black Noir and Maeve made the show or completed the show, right? And without either of them, it's there are pieces that can't be replaced.
No, at all, man. At all. We can't play audio, but did you see what happened?
With
someone leaked the trailer for season 2 of X-Men 97.
Oh, so I've heard a lot of things about the show. I didn't know about the leaked trailer. What are your thoughts? What are you thinking?
What am I thinking? Not much to go on, right? It's still early in the game. Not much they have to do to make this a win other than allow it to be X-Men, the animated.
Right. And so my understanding so far of like the reveals or whatever is that they're eventually gonna break up into 4 teams, right? There's gonna be an X Factor, X Force, and there's gonna be like 2 X-Men teams or whatever.
Right.
And so they're all gonna be different things. And I'm rooting for it. The one thing that I think is weird is the people they have on X Force are not right.
Okay. Who do they have on X Force?
Like, for instance, they have Jubilee on that team, and they have Morph on that team, and I'm like, that's wrong too. And I don't know if Jubilee is a stand-in for Boom Boom, but it's really not the same. They at least have like Archangel, who's like later for X Force, and they have Sunspot, who's like classic X Force. Okay, I agree with that, but it was weird.
Right.
But when you look at the X Factor, yeah, you got X Factor right. The X-Men teams, yeah, check. You're working your stuff. But they need to fix the X-Force.
Yeah, man, it's not that complicated, right?
It's not that complicated. It is not that complicated. No, sir.
You already got Cable in the mix, man. You can do the New Mutants, even if you just bring them on like, hey, these were kids in training, and
they have Sunspot, but they don't have Cannonball. Here's what I'm saying: it is not original X-Force without Cannonball. Because for those who don't know, that is why Cable created the team for Cannonball.
Yeah,
remember, Cannonball is an external; he's an immortal.
Yeah.
That he was trying to shape his military career.
Yeah. It's not that difficult, man. All you gotta do is
actually, for all these comic book movies like Wonder Man, all these other things, you know what's crazy? If you don't have any ideas and you're scared and you know where to go, guess what? Somebody already wrote a roadmap for you. And I'm not talking about the Holy Bible. I'm talking about comic books. It's already written for you, you dumbasses.
It's true, man. You don't
just look at the comic book if you don't know what to do.
Yeah, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, man. So it's crazy. Like, I'll drop the link in everyone's Discord so you can check it out. But it's literally someone watching the trailer on their computer, and they must not have a capture card because they're filming it with their phone, and then watching it through VLC media player. But animation looks good. You know, I think they're going to pick up right where they left off, and it should be a good time. The name of the game, my brother, is a good time. This is what I walked away from Mortal Kombat 2 with. I should be walking into every situation going, man, that was worth the 2-3 hours.
Yes, absolutely, 1,000%.
I should be walking out of films going, I had fun. And I think this is the time of the underdog, man. Like, we've seen that with friggin' Predator Badlands, a movie that's still dope. Watched it the other day with my son. Still had a great time.
So good.
We'll do that with Mortal Kombat 2 as well, man. You just gotta,
So let me ask you: do you believe that the first season of X-Men '97 was able to do what it did because of Bo DeMeo, or despite of him? Because he's gone. Bo DeMeo.
I think it was because of him, man. I think if you had someone at the helm that really cared about the property.
He really cared. He fucking cared. I love that. You heard about the whole Daredevil thing?
No, what's going on?
When Daredevil Born Again season 1 dropped, and he was already ousted out of Marvel, they weren't doing anything like that. He made a list of 20 episodes that he would have made if he was in charge of Daredevil.
Okay.
And all of them were bangers. It was like all amazing. And it was like, they should have put this dude in charge of Daredevil.
Yeah.
Because he knows his comic book. That was the thing. He was referencing comic books and villains and all sorts of things. He's like, I would have done this and that and that and that and that and that if I was in charge of the show. And I was like, please put him in charge of the show.
Yeah, it's not that hard, man. You grab someone that cares. You know what? This is gonna make me go sideways here, but shout out to Young Ripper, right? Everyone gave him a hard time when he was coming out with the Ripperverse, and they were like, the quality of it. But you know what? The comic book is doing amazing, and they just got picked up by a large distributor, and he's growing into an actual force in the comic industry. You know why? Because he's sticking to his principles. Did you ever hear what his bylaws? I won't call them bylaws, but what his requisites were for making this universe? He's like, there will be no time jumps, there will be no parallel universes that we use to fix story, like plot holes. He's like, we will make consistent, cohesive universe.
I hope he doesn't have resurrections. That's the worst part of comic books, right? But I will say this. I will say this. A lot of YouTubers, particularly in the last couple of years, YouTubers we've known for many years,
Yeah.
have all decided to do their side passions, right? Several, like for instance, several YouTubers came up with horror movies.
Yeah.
Most of them flopped and are garbage. Like I love Call Me Chris as a YouTuber. Her horror movie, The Lake at Eden, is horrible.
What was the one that did really well that just came out and everyone?
So that is Markiplier's. Okay. What is it called? I forget the name of the horror movie, but I know Markiplier is the YouTuber, and people loved it.
Yeah, people absolutely loved it, man. That's what I'm saying. It's not that hard to make content that people. I mean, it is. It's difficult. I mean, not that, you know
what I'm saying is that someone who's truly has a passion for something, they've earned their money. Like here's what it is. It's clear that young Rippa loves comic books. It's not like he tried, like Grace Randolph did this. You try comic books, and then as soon as it's not working or not doing great, you give up.
Yeah.
You're like, I've made 6 and no one really like, whatever, I'm moving on. That you didn't really have a true passion. Rippa truly cares about his characters. He cares about the plots, and he's putting quality into it. And just like Markiplier did for his movie, right?
Right.
It was called it was like Iron Lung or something, his movie. But anyway, you could tell he really had a passion for making movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even though he wasn't gifted to be like in film score and to have a budget or something, YouTube allowed that budget to come.
Yep.
Right. And it's beautiful. But I do agree with you. Young Rippa, he can't be stopped because he's a man with a mission and a passion. And if you can find your right passion in life, go for it. These other like phony YouTubers or whatever who try to be, they're true YouTubers. They're false filmmakers. They were just doing it as a hobby.
Yeah.
Like, I'm bored. I'll make a movie.
Yep. Yeah. Passion project. They weren't passionate about. Speaking of passion projects and speaking of consistency and speaking of giving people what they want and what they love, let's get to our main topic for tonight.
Iron Lung. There we go. It's called Iron Lung.
So Christopher Nolan's. Yeah.
I love it because I do love this because it's entertainment wrapped in politics, wrapped in entertainment, disguised as politics.
Deep cut. It's Inception in real life, man.
All right, we're experiencing Inception in real time right now.
So you went to school at LaGuardia, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I went to the public school for junior high, not junior high, middle school over there, PS 191, right down the block from there, right? So we both would have had access to Lincoln Center. It was a great time to grow up in New York City, right?
It was amazing. I used to love eating lunch on Lincoln Center. It was like beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful. Yeah. Both our schools, I'm sure mine like yours, afforded you the opportunity to go to plays and stuff like that. So the first time I saw the Odyssey in live action was a play. And yes, the characters were played by people of different ethnicities. You know why that worked? Because you understand going into a Broadway play, it's the person that had the most range to do it, right? It wasn't a political statement. It was just like, this person is great.
I'll tell you that every year, obviously I think most schools do this, not just LaGuardia. LaGuardia does every year at the end, they do a show, right? That, a big build show, right? And one year I remember, check this out. It was Richard III, but it was set in Nazi Germany.
Wow.
And the guy who was playing Richard III, the Hitler character, was black. And I have to tell you, it was friggin' amazing. It was freaking amazing. Because he was such a good actor. He was such a young man. He was just a great actor.
See, and that's the point. He was a good actor. He had the range. He had the passion, right? I've seen our good friend Cece, when she went to school at NYU, they did Midnight Summer Dream. Cece is a talented actress. They absolutely killed it. I enjoyed that. Obviously, one of my exes, Tiffany, she was a Broadway play kid, one of those weirdos. And, they did a Sweeney Todd and Rent, right?
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Great shows.
So now, I want to just say something. Lupita being Helen of Troy doesn't bother me in the sense that she's not attractive enough. We all know she's hot. We all know
she's friggin' hot. Are you kidding me?
They made her look a certain way for 12 Years a Slave because it helped with the movie. But
I mean, obviously.
But so that's not my grief with it. In fact, I don't really have a problem with the Lupita thing. I did hear Drinker and all those guys giving it a hard time because, like, you know, this is supposed to be the face that caused that mobilized 1,000 ships, whatever. Okay, but Elliot Page is a step too.
Oh yes. Okay, so we're gonna get to that. We are gonna get to that, my friend. Oh my God, I'm in rage right now. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. For the things I have to say about like the regular stuff, right? Here's what I can't stand. People. So first, this is funny. The first people to cancel this movie were
who?
Liberals.
Really?
Do you know why? Because modern day liberalism is on this kick where you have to hire actors and actresses from the place that something takes place. So they're saying you can't have Matt Damon, who is an Irishman. Right. You have to have a Greek dude. They were like, you have to hire all these Greeks.
Yeah.
And the absurdity, here's what it is. It's true, Nolan's British, but most of this is an American production. We are Americans putting on a show about ancient Greece. So it makes sense that our cast, like a play, would be made up of Americans.
And everyone knows that throughout history, any reenactment of Roman mythology and Greek mythology is played by hardworking British actors. So that's
or anybody, really. And in my opinion, any hardworking actor. But I agree with you. Right, British people all the time playing Hermes with a British accent. Of course, that's a thing. That's an actual thing, right? But I'm just saying, the people of our nation make up these things. So, you know, people were shitting on Travis Scott for playing a bard. He's playing a bard telling a story. He's the narrator in the story is Travis Scott.
Right.
And they're like, but he's a black dude. And I was like, yes, but we're Americans telling this story. So it's all right that a black is cast because there are black people in America. Go fucking figure.
You know what's crazy though, man? In regards to the Elliot Page thing, you didn't even have to do that for representation. Achilles was boinking his squire. Like, everyone knows it. If you read the book as a kid, you know that he was boinking this dude.
So yes, so basically, I'm already defending Lupita, Travis Scott, and Zendaya is playing Athena. Right. No, but I love it. I love all this stuff. But same thing. You got the whites are having their fun. White people. White people love no one more than Anne Hathaway. And she's up in this shit, right? The white people are like, Anne Hathaway's in it. Anne Hathaway's in it. Their hard on can be felt from miles away. Right, because of
they got gray sweats on and it's hot outside.
Right, so here's what I'm saying: everyone of the American diaspora is being represented in this movie. So I'm loving it. I think it's great energy. And then they do the Ellen Page thing, right? The Ellen Page thing. So
dead name.
What? I don't. What was that? I don't know that word or phrase you just used. But the thing is that, like, so first they said Achilles, and I was like, I have to be honest. I emotionally felt something. I said, what the fuck? Achilles, are you trying to offend me? What? I was like, what? That would actually stop me from buying a ticket, actually.
Yeah, that would stop me from buying a ticket as well, man.
And so supposedly that's fake. Okay. That it's not Achilles, it's someone else in the army that they're playing.
It's probably the young squire that
Achilles fuckboy, right? I don't know, but have you seen all the AI swap outs yet?
Yeah.
Where they did it for friggin' 300. They did it for all ton of scenes from Troy.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Where they're like, imagine if Ellen Page replaced, Brad Pitt for Achilles.
They did one for Rocky, and the scars were there from where she had her breast removed. I'm like, the internet is undefeated in this regard, man. It's absolutely undefeated, bro.
It is, but here's what I'm saying. I have been assured that it's not Achilles.
Okay.
That it's something. I mean, we could be wrong. We have to be there to see it. But here's what I'm saying: if it is Achilles, I would actually not pay for the ticket. And I know people are like, "Are you a transphobe?" Well, probably. But other than that, the thing is like, there's a time and a place. What is an appropriate gender or race or whatever swap?
Right.
That would not be I do not think that would appropriate. So some slender little beta biological woman playing Achilles is more than I can bear as a male. I just can't. I don't have words, and I'd rather burn down a theater. And I'm not going to burn down all the theaters. I'm not like a horrible monster or anything. I'm just saying I'd rather burn down the theater I'm in than continue to watch this travesty. Right? Yeah, so I hope whoever is Achilles is actually a manly man. If it is Ellen Page, I don't know what to say.
So Matt says if Paige isn't playing Achilles, then they should just come out and say that and get ahead of this. Yeah, absolutely, man. But Christopher Nolan, someone had a good I think it might have been Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. He was the one who said that right now that, Nolan's in his untouchable phase. He just won an award. Oppenheimer absolutely killed it. So, he's just like, I cannot be stopped. Yeah, he compared it to when George Lucas was making the prequels, where it's like, I can't be stopped. I win. That's what I do.
Right. And I'm like, he's like, I'll cast a woman as the angel Michael. I don't care, but another thing someone has pointed out that how Hollywood is changing, the Academy Awards is changing the rules into winning an Academy Award, and you're not eligible unless you have a diverse situation going on. People are saying that's what they think he's doing. Because he's not known to be woke. He doesn't ever do woke casting ever.
This is definitely a departure from what we know him for.
I think he's obviously fishing for an Academy Award, and therefore he has to make it diverse, or he's not eligible.
Yeah. So doesn't this make you nostalgic for Troy? Right, that movie got such grief when it came out.
I gave it such grief. Now I'm watching scenes from it. I was like, this wasn't such a bad movie. Even like Hector versus Achilles. That was a pretty good fight.
Pretty good. That is quite one of the best fights ever, man. Yeah, it's amazing to me. It's absolutely amazing to me. But we'll see, right? So here's the question I got to ask myself, and you need to ask yourself. And you find folks that are left in the chat. Sorry for all the technical difficulties tonight. You need to ask yourself: is it worth 3 hours of your day?
So like I said, I'm fine with all these weird castings as long as a biological woman is not cast as Achilles, the most manly man there ever was, right?
Yeah. But you're okay with him boinking his squire, though?
Well, he did it. That was some Greek shit. Those guys were gay.
Speaking of gayness, there is a...
Oh, what up, Wolf? Wolf House. What up, brother? How you living? Said there's a wolf in this house.
New trailer for House of the Dragon.
Oh, is there?
Yes.
I'm not going to see it because Paige is in it. That's a hard pass for me, says Mad Cat. Okay, I dig that.
3 hours of your time. That's what you're committing to when you do this, right? That's 3 hours you can be with your
That's family. A normal Nolan movie, though. That's what Nolan does, right? He does these long ass movies.
Normal Nolan movie wouldn't have this type of talk around it, but it could be just some reverse promoting. He's like, hey, I'll get him in the theater one way or another,
Yeah, I honestly do admit, really do believe that he is trying to make it in the Oscar world. You know what I mean? And like, he's just like, basically he wants to win. And he feels like if he doesn't have a diverse thing, he'll be hated on.
It's crazy, man. about this whole situation. That first, you would have to go through those pains just to make a decent movie. Secondly, that this is where we are in 2026. Just when you think the culture wars have finally been weeded out of your day-to-day life, they make their way back into it, man. I saw a great video the other day where this woman basically went on what was the greatest rant ever, where all right, so here's the story, right? She's at a female volleyball game, and there are guys there who are also playing their game. And one of the teammates comes to her and said, "Hey, we should play the guys." And she goes on this long diatribe to her teammate, like, "Are you crazy? They're biological males. There's no way we can beat them. There's nothing we can do to win. It's just genetically." And then she said, the woman, when she stopped talking, the woman was just looking at her like a crazy person, and she realized that she was viewing everything through the lens of a cultural war, because she was standing on business, just like, it's silly.
Right.
And then you're probably, I'm going to quote you here. She basically had a moment like you where she's like, wait a minute. I came here to have fun today, have some drinks, play some volleyball. So what if we lose to the guys? I don't lose anything from losing to them. We're not making a political statement. And that's where we are. We're like, I think people need to take off the culture war glasses and just go, is this worth my time? Don't even look at it. Is there diversity? Is it worth your money? For the love of God, folks, is it worth your money, bro?
So here's the thing. Nolan has never disappointed. And I said that. And I know people look at me and they go, what? I have never disliked wait. Okay, there's one movie.
I know which one it is. It's got to be the last Batman movie.
No. I even like that one. Although I liked it less than the other two Batman movies. I'm saying I liked it. So the one I didn't like at all was Insomnia, and that's the one where Al Pacino is a detective who has to go to Alaska and there's no night. It's day all the time, and he can't sleep. That's an early Nolan. Yeah, that's early Nolan.
Yeah, that was a weird movie.
Yeah, that wasn't great, but I'm saying other great
that movie.
Other great early ones. Memento. Remember the one that went backwards?
Yeah, that was a good movie.
The guy with tattoos and stuff like that. The Prestige.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? He did Inception, Interstellar. He did Tenet. He's done all these things. He's all over the place, right? But for the most part, he almost every time entertains me. I'm always on some level entertained when I walk out of a Nolan movie, and so I have to see it. Basically,
okay, you're obligated.
I'm obligated to my sense of entertainment and joy.
And there you go.
But you know what would take away that joy?
Elliot Page swinging a sword.
Yes, a biological female playing Achilles, a Greek hero.
You know what? I just figured out, if I'm ever graced with the opportunity to come on your show again, I know what our next movie is: The Salton Sea, Val Kilmer, possibly the greatest Val Kilmer movie ever made.
The Salton Sea?
Yeah, it's an amazing movie.
I'm already asleep. I fell asleep while you were saying the title.
You've never seen The Salton Sea?
I don't think I have. It sounds boring as.
No, it's amazing. It's about tweakers in California and like the weird life that they live, man. It's amazing.
Are you serious?
Yeah, man. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, Tenet, Mumble City. I agree. Here's what it is. I agree. There was a lot of sound problems on Tenet. Still a great movie.
Yeah. You know what? You didn't do that on my 40th birthday, and I was not disappointed. I was not disappointed in that movie.
Right. He doesn't disappoint. Like, there's always something interesting going on enough to keep me into it. Mm-hmm. So that's why I have faith in filmmakers.
Oh my gosh. So I got to say this, man, before we wrap up, right?
Well, we haven't even talked about the fights yet, but okay.
No, we did. We didn't talk about it. We didn't
talk about the fights.
Well, wait, let's talk about the fights.
But wait, before we wrapped up, you had something to say?
Well, too late. I'm old, and now that thought's never going to come back to me.
He's forgotten. So whatever he's seeing on Rumble, he's not going to share with us. Rumble kids, I love you. Steve is a gatekeeper. He's keeping you away from me. I want to express my love for you, and I understand you, and I feel you, yo. Fat Mantis, come to RizRadio.com. Hit me up, yo.
So Carmen Sita says, let's talk about the fight. LOL. All right. So livid. So wait, as an MMA fan, I am more than an enthusiast. I'm someone that enjoys training in jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, boxing, the whole thing, man. I will say this, and I understand this about the MMA market right now. The UFC once upon a time had competitors. Used to be Pride, and then it was also Strikeforce, right? Pride went away. UFC bought out all the contracts from there. Strikeforce went away. They were on Showtime. They had really good production. They went away. A lot of fighters that from the heyday of the UFC came over from there, right? So now we find ourselves where Bellator has completely failed. The PFL is just a feeder for the UFC. So there's no variety, right? And now UFC is in its Paramount era, which some people might arguably say it's still early, that this is the worst era of the UFC, which is ironic because it's the best era to be a fan because now the fights are 100% free.
So if I could interject right now. So it can't be the worst era, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
Every sports league that everyone loves right now, like all the main sports leagues in America, at one time had a competitor that they beat out.
No, that's not why. That's not why it's the worst era. It's the worst era because they have. All right, so you're going to be hard pressed to put on fight cards with the budget that they're presumably working with, giving away free fights. The quality of the fights have not been great on the Paramount.
Well. Okay, so I'll tell you, a lot of the fights from this very night, from the MVP night, were one-sided. They ended in one round.
Yeah, on the main card. The preliminary card was an absolute. So let me just get there, right? Let me just make a long point short.
Right. Okay.
People are dissatisfied with the product that they're getting from the UFC, and it's they're more vocal now. Obviously, being able to start their own YouTube channels and things of this nature. So, with the inception of the MVP being on Netflix, also a free not free, but you can watch these main cards for free on Netflix. They put together a stacked card. Now, if you're an MMA enthusiast, you look at the card and you recognize a lot of these names, and you're like, "Oh man, this is actually going to be a real fight card." So you have people fighting for their contracts, fighting for the right to get the $40,000 to show. The UFC would never pay anyone not ranked $40,000 to show for a fight, but most of the fighters got that, right? And so they fought accordingly. There were crazy split decisions. One poor guy got robbed. He got choked out at 4:59 is what the official result is. But in actuality, the bell had already rung. Herb Dean fell asleep as a referee and is like, "Oh, am I supposed to stop this guy from choking you after the bell rings?" Guy gets choked out. They go to the commission video replay, Mantis. Something I've only seen happen once in the sport of MMA in its inception. And not one, not two, not even three. 4 people that judge MMA said, "Oh, well, yeah, he tapped you after the bell, so we're going to give him a technical submission." Fine. It was drama, high stakes. I'm having a great time. Francis Ngannou comes back. He starches a light heavyweight. It's okay. Yes. No one knew who this guy was, but he absolutely starched this guy. And then him and John Jones start going back and forth because this is the fight that everyone wants to see. I'm like, yes, it's doing great. Then we get Platinum Mike versus Nate Diaz.
Platinum Mike. Yo, that was the best fight of the night. Platinum Mike versus Diaz was crazy.
Bro, Mike Perry got banished from the UFC after a lackluster, showing against what's his friggin' Brit's name? Anyway, so long story short,
covered in blood. This dude is covered in blood from the fight.
Here's the thing, man. He goes to bare knuckle fighting championships, makes a name, beats Michael Venom Page and bare knuckle boxing, becomes the face of bare knuckle boxing, gets a chance against Nate Diaz, and absolutely dog walks him for 3.
It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. That fight was really over in one, but the thing is, Diaz can take a pounding.
And that's how he and his brother usually win a fight. You gas yourself out, beating the crap out of them, and then
they're still in it. Yeah.
But it was absolutely amazing, man. All of that was great. I think MVP did a great job on the fight picks. I think they did a great job with the production. I enjoyed Tyron Woodley as an analyst. I mean,
the regular referee was not there. The real referee.
Who are you talking about?
Yo, the main referee from UFC wasn't there that night.
Who, John
Some
McCarthy?
other referee.
Who, John McCarthy?
I don't know their names.
Who the hell is the regular? At any rate, But here's the thing I'm trying to tell you, my brother.
That old man, and they're all old men. I know they're all old men, but
here's the thing, right? Here's where they messed up on the card, right? So too much Ariel Helwani brought up too many times in the hexagon, not the octagon, the hexagon. Like, hey, so Jake Paul's in there, Francis Ngannou wins. And instead of just letting Jake Paul be a promoter, it's like, so would you two fight each other? No, you don't want to lend this to the circus show, which is Jake Paul. Let him be a promoter.
Right. Every time he was on camera and able to talk, it annoyed the shit out of me. I'm like, why are we talking about it? This night should not be about him
at all.
And why are they interject? Yeah, it was crazy.
At all. And so then you get that craziness, right? But still in all, I'm happy all the fighters got paid. Then we get to the Rousey and Carano fight. The walkout was great. They had great pacing with everything. And
Gina looked great. She had her braids. She had her warrior skirt.
Real quick, did you happen to see how everyone was going crazy over watching Gina Carano do her first ice bath?
I didn't notice.
So perverts, you're all sick people, but like it is like one of the most viewed videos shorts on YouTube.
Here's what's funny: she's the older one, but let's get real. Rhonda is not a good-looking girl, and so
she's not an ugly woman, but she's not
ugly. But she's not anything special. But Gina is a beautiful lady, and so with her and her braids and her battle skirt, like she had the better style, right? So like you're like, okay,
she's 40 plus years old. We were talking about this off.
I'm marrying a 40-year-old.
No, I know you would. She's 40 plus years old, right? She comes from an era of women's MMA prior to Ronda Rousey. All right, I'm about to get real
17 years since she was in the ring.
Listen, I'm about to get real deep cut with you, my brother. Women's MMA is still on a skill level, right? There are some chicks who think they can beat me up in a fight, whatever. On a skill level, it's still trying to catch up with men's MMA. That's just a fact, right? Yeah. You can watch most women's MMA fights are still not in a place where the skill level is. Amanda Nunes is an amazing champion, but the fact of the matter is the woman has horrible striking, but she hits hard, and she's a great grappler, but she's not looking like an Ilia Topuria. She's not a John Jones, right? The skill level isn't there. So I want you to rewind back to the Gina Carano era, man. She was a brawler that brought an intensity and a ferocity that women had not seen, and so she was dog walking chicks, right? And she was also on American Gladiators. But she got murked by Chris Cyborg, right? The first real legit 145 champion in Strikeforce. What did you guys think was going to happen when she went up against Ronda Rousey? Why would the woman who got brutally knocked out in her last two showings in the UFC take the chance to strike with this woman? Of course she's going to go for a double leg.
Yo, I don't understand how she didn't know that would be her first move. I knew it. Why did Gina not know it?
You know why Gina didn't know it, man? Because ring rust is real, and 17 years is a long time to be away from it. I've watched a lot of footage of Gina leading up to this fight. You know what? The one thing I did not see her doing in almost any of the footage I came across? Grappling. I didn't see it. I didn't see it anywhere, bro.
So here's what I'm saying. So Gina, her grappling art is Guido Jutsu. And if you guys are wondering, like, what's that? That sounds so exotic. That's made up shit. So it's true. There's some guy who's like, I made Guido Jutsu for MMA. And people are like, well, what's that? He's like, it's a little bit of jujitsu. It's a little bit of Greco-Roman. It's a little bit of Samba. And you're like, you mean you haven't mastered any of it, and you're just kind of putting it together. And that's what these kind of JoJos do. However, that art is all over there, Guido Jutsu. And what it is it's like, it's just people haven't mastered anything. Right. Here's what it is. People who don't take grappling seriously, take that. And say, you know what? I learned a little grappling. I'm good.
Oh,
I'm good. I don't need to take it seriously.
I agree with that sentiment, and it's just I understood what was going to happen. Now, here's the real question, my brother. As an MMA, I love MMA so much that I know not to call it the sport of UFC. Right? That's how I can differentiate myself from the normies. Here's what we need desperately. We need another organization that's going to put on high quality fights. If I was in charge of MVP, yes, I would have still booked the Rhonda versus Gina fight because that's going to get people in because they're coming to see the freak show.
You got to.
I do exactly what they did. They put three fights on the main card that they knew that real enthusiasts were going to enjoy, and they put together a dope prelim system. And that's what needs to continue to happen. What they should not have done was given the trolls any ammunition. Do not show an empty stadium, right? That's a hard sell, man. It's hard as a new organization, even with MVP money. The stadium was basically empty. All those lights you saw were empty chairs, right? So the ones where you didn't see lights, those were actual fans. Don't show that type of shit, man. Focus on the production. Keep focusing on getting quality fights, man. And maybe you have to tell the fighters, like, hey, man, we're not going to be able to give all you guys 40,000, but look what you're investing in. Do you want to be under the
Wait, hold on. Remember, it's not UFC money. It's Netflix money, and Netflix has infinite deep pockets.
Okay, so let's so that part I got to break down right there, right? Netflix is the distributor. They didn't put up the lion's share for this money. They may have had a
They should. Any deal worth its weight in spit should be, Netflix, you got all that money, you pay these fighters.
But here's the thing. You have to come to the table with something that justifies. Okay, so we'll pay Rhonda's salary because she's co-promoting, but we're not.
Here's what the equal is. If you want to dominate sports, you will do it. If not, you can go to Peacock, motherfucker, where nobody's watching you.
Listen, the sentiment is there, man. But the problem is the UFC built it right. They were willing to struggle for years. They paid their dues, man. And then comes along the Ultimate Fighter Championship where they have Forrest Griffin versus, forget the poor guy's name. He passed away too. But that fight is what blew them up into the normal masses. I think if they do another MVP show, just focus on keep getting quality fights. No more runoffs. Don't be the WCW. Hear me out. Don't be the WCW, right? We don't want all the old people who can no longer fight coming over from the UFC. Keep galvanizing new talent, steal talent that were people who are about to sign with the UFC. Yeah, if Netflix is going to open up their purse, steal that talent, man. And for the love of God, don't make it a bunch of Dagestanians, because the casual MMA fan has a real big issue still to this day with grappling. The only place grappling is clapped for is in Brazil and friggin' Eastern Europe and Japan.
Look, here's what I'm saying. I'm starting to put in my own life some sort of, not telegraphing something, but here's what I'm saying. If somebody you're going up against brags about their grappling / wrestling skills, you should always be prepared for their first move to be shooting for your legs. I literally was thinking it before it started. So in a fighting game when it's counting down to when you're about to fight, and you know your opponent, and you're like, I know Steve is gonna go for whatever, right? You already think. Here's what it is. When that fight starts, you predict what someone's gonna do, and you have a counter prepared.
Yeah.
And Gina's like, I didn't know the world's greatest white judoka would try to fucking take me down.
You know what, man?
That was news to me.
It could be. I just want to talk about Ron. Going over to the chat and Rumble. Carmen says Gina did an amazing job losing the weight. I'm very impressed. It takes a lot of self-discipline. Lost over 100 pounds of weight. Unfortunately, what she didn't do, and shout out to her for that, man. Shout out to Gina Carano just for her class and her decorum.
Love her.
The way she carried herself through this, man. She deserved this payday. Different point. What you're talking about, my brother, is anti-wrestling and anti-striking, right? A guy like Khabib Nurmagomedov went up against Conor McGregor, who is one of the most elite strikers we've ever seen in MMA. You can have feelings about him all you want, but Conor McGregor's striking, his counter, his distance control. Go look at Conor McGregor versus Mike Chandler. He hit Mike Chandler after being grappled for an entire round, got back up, not discouraged, hit Mike Chandler with a 6-hit combo. I'm talking about a cross, a hook,
I mean,
kicked him in the stomach, and then knocked his ass out.
the notorious
Anti-wrestling, man, and anti-grappling. The problem was Gina didn't spend enough time. You don't even have to be proficient in grappling. Just go to a camp where they can teach you what to look for when someone.
Here's what I'm saying: the mere fact that she uses Guido Jutsu is evidence that she doesn't take grappling seriously.
Yeah. If you walk into an MMA gym and your instructor is wearing like an old kimono, walk right out.
I saw a mini doc on the guy who invented it, and I was watching. I said to myself, "This is bullshit." This is the guy who learned a little of everything and didn't fucking master anything, right?
Yeah.
Basically, here's what I'm saying, and I sound like an idiot for saying this, right? There are really only 3 grappling arts that are legitimate.
Yeah.
Right. And so basically, or actually, I guess 4, right? But I would argue if you're doing judo, you need to learn other stuff too. But like, so basically it's jujitsu, it's judo, it's Greco-Roman, or it's Sambo out of Russia. And that's pretty much it. And like anything else is not a complete wrestling.
Because you're right. These styles have been pressure tested, and you're in a situation where constant drilling and sparring are a part of it, right? And that's always been my debate with traditional martial arts. Once upon a time, wushu practitioners were sparring and it was pressure tested until you come up against the reality of a 200-pound man who knows how to hold you down on the ground. It's a different type of feeling. Carmen says Netflix prices always seem to go up. Of course, they have the cash for the fights. They have the cash, but they're not going to shell it out until they think that's viable, right? Until they think it's a viable part of their.
I think you don't think last night was viable. Here's what I'm saying: they may not have sold tickets for that event. Everyone I know was watching.
100%, but I don't know how that translates into dollars for pre-existing accounts.
Well, I don't know how any streaming actually produces. The idea is that they have one subscription price and they can watch anything for free. And you think you're like, well, then how do you know if anything's a success?
Then it's based on ratings. Here's what they are banking on is the advertisers. I would assume the amount of advertisers willing to come through, because they had ads rolling the entire time.
Yeah, they did. You know what I thought was funny is that a lot of the ads were for Netflix shows.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there were shows I saw in there that I was like, you know what? I'm going to check that out. I never heard of that.
In that sense, it worked. But how many did you count were outside advertisers?
There were a couple. There were definitely a couple. There's so. My favorite is there was one about dude wipes.
That was amazing. Dude wipes.
I was like,
some of those based off of that. I was like, I need me some dude wipes. I got dry ass after pooping.
While I watch UFC, I don't want to think about my dry ass.
But you know what? Shout out to them, man. I do hope they put on more MVP cards, and I hope that they really just invest in the long haul. You know, the actual guy, Jake's partner. They asked Ariel Hawani, asked him, like, is this a one and done? And he's like, we're going to go back. We're going to re-examine. I'm guessing it's all going to boil down to what the concurrent views were. They had extremely high concurrent views for the prelims on YouTube, which is great. I think YouTube is an underutilized avenue for MMA events. So we'll see, man.
YouTube is the fucking wild way. Here's the problem. YouTube has always been successful, but they have not been able to actually make it a curated thing.
Yeah. Twitch did a much better job at that.
Yes. And so what I'm saying is you could have a professional person come on and they're like, I'm going to go on YouTube. I'm going to light it up. And somehow like UFC will be losing to some dude who found a roach in an alley and decided to cook it on an open fire. They're like, monkey smells his own ass and falls out of a tree. Somehow that video is beating UFC.
Yeah, there's a buddy of mine. This is really going to piss you off. There's a buddy of mine I worked with, and he had a YouTube channel that had over like 100,000 subscribers. at one video that has millions of views. He was actually thinking about giving me his channel, and it was from him being in the blimp. And he's not doing anything in this blimp. It was him taking off in the blimp. It's the blimp going up. Yeah. Millions of views on the one.
Oh, just blimping it. Okay. Yo, I'm gonna start taking videos, and I'm not even talking about mukbangs, just videos of me eating. And see where I go with it. I'm like, ham sandwich. And to watch me devour it and see if that gets us anywhere. Because I think it might get better hits than Fanboy. Yo, but it's true. I'm sorry to shit. We're totally like, we've lost track of shit. But I'm saying YouTube is low quality content always seems to win over like curated, produced stuff.
Yeah, and there's obviously it's interesting to me, but we'll see where Netflix takes this whole thing. We'll see what the streaming, everyone's doing it. So it's boxing. Obviously, you've seen the Crawford Canelo fight was on Netflix, did extremely well. So this is the future. People, I think, are done with pay-per-views. We've been gouged for years.
Yes.
Or pay-per-view events. So I'm with it, man. And then actually, this might be the thing that puts illegal piracy, in the dirt. It's a shrewd move. They're like, okay.
Yeah, right. Because all you need, here's what I'm saying. We complain about Netflix prices, but it's way cheaper than on demand or any of this other shit. It's an easy way to have access.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely, my brother. My brother, where can the people find you?
People can find me all over these streets, but in reality, you can find me over on RizRadio.com, particularly on Saturday and Sunday, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. We're on Burn Your Degree, where I make you question the answer. We talk about all sorts of weird stuff. I am the Fat Mantis. I'm keeping it real. And of course, you can always find me on Twitch. And please pay attention because I got a very important announcement coming up. It's not happening this very minute, but things are changing. And you guys are gonna love what I have to pitch. Fat Mantis in the scene, keeping it real. And my brother Steve, where can they find you?
Same place, RizRadio.com, RizRadio Live 365, Sundays and Tuesdays for Mic Check, where I take a poo on your favorite rappers, but I'll try to make you feel good about it.
Poor 50 cents, more 50 cents.
Until next time, my friends.
Ciao for now.